each of these. Our skinny post, this is exclusively for us an outside wide receiver route. We're going to take our best release. I don't care if it's an inside. I don't care if it's an outside. I want you to get into the depths of the secondary as fast as possible. So take your best release. You are going to stick at 10 to 14 yards. And notice I didn't say break. I didn't say cut. I said stick. We're going to put our foot in the ground and we're going to stay vertical. Now we may bend a little, but we're not bending a lot. You'd be amazed at how many times the first couple of days of camp, I get a freshman, I say, hey, run a post. And all of a sudden he's breaking this thing across the field on a 90-degree angle, which is basically, which is a dig. And you're like, well, that ain't anything that we were trying to run, right? We are trying to stay vertical. We're not aiming at the goalpost, right? The reason the post is called the post. We're not even aiming at the goalpost. We're sticking our foot in the ground and we're staying vertical with maybe a slight bend depending on where that cornerback's leverage is. This is something that I stole from Coach Peshik, and I got to give credit where credit's due. We're going to have speed through our stick, meaning that there's no chop, there's no rise, there's no sink. It is just simply we're 10 to 14 yards, wherever that takes you. You're full speed through it, and you just give a hard plant and stay vertical. Keep your path vertical. 2 steps after your stick, keep your leverage no matter what. And this is extremely important, extremely important. Our skinny post is exclusively an outside wide receiver route, like I said. So if we're to the field and we stick our foot in the ground and stay vertical, and then we think the corner's playing inside leverage, so now we jump back outside, well, that quarterback probably has already thrown the football, right? Because he's got to get rid of that if he's throwing it to the field. So if we jump the leverage of the cornerback 2 steps after our stick, we're in big time trouble, and that's going to result in an interception, or at the very least an incomplete pass. So whatever your leverage on that corner is, 2 steps after your stick, you got to keep it and you got to own it. The quarterback is going to throw you open, flat, or vertical. So I'm going to show you some video, and we have post routes called. And our guys are putting their foot in the ground at 10 yards, staying vertical because they got the corner on their inside hip, and they're just running a go route. All right. And then there's going to be times where we give a little bit of stick, a little bit of head nod. We got the corner on our outside hip. And now all of a sudden we throw the receiver, the quarterback's going to throw the receiver open across the field because he's throwing him open. If we start fat, it's very difficult to throw back vertical. If we start vertical, we can always attack the ball flat. And then you're going to see this a lot with the post routes for us. We're going to fight pressure with pressure, right? If cornerback's in your outside hip, lean on him as you run. Lean on him so when the quarterback throws you open across the field, you can attack it. If he's on your inside hip, lean on him so the quarterback can throw you to the green zone, which is bottom numbers to the sideline. So that's our skinny post. Our field post. This is an inside-outside receiver route, doesn't matter, but we must inside release either the safety if you're the slot or the corner if you're the outside receiver. The only time you can outside release on a field post if you're just going to beat the brakes off the guy lined up across from you because he's jumped too far inside, or you just know that you can win over the top. It's cover 0, whatever it is, but you must inside release on a field post. We try to keep it consistent that 10 to 14 range, we are going to stick it. You're going to have speed through your stick, and you must hold your inside leverage. So now we are fighting for inside leverage. If I'm running a post to the right here, we're going to fight for inside leverage, and we'll lean on that corner, right? But as we stick it, we are staying on that. We are going to take maybe a little bit fatter of a path, but we're still staying vertical, knowing the quarterback can throw us all the way across the field or vertical, but it is inside release. Why do we want to run field posts? Well, it's because we've already occupied the middle field safety or the cover 4 safety. So when we're running skinny posts, we're trying to attack a cover 3 guy, a cover 2 guy, a man. Maybe we're just saying we got a KYP where we're going to have the best guy out on the field. When we're running a field post, we're truly trying to throw this thing off of the field safety. And by taking that inside release, the boundary safety or your near safety, and by taking an inside release on that corner, we're basically saying we'll run away from that corner. That corner's going to have to make an excellent play to get a stop. Again, fight pressure with pressure, and quarterback will throw you open. He has the whole field. That's why it's called a field post. Capture post. This is a best release post for us. It's almost exclusively, and I say almost because it's not exclusively, but almost exclusively run by somebody in the slot, the number 2 or number 3. Again, we try to keep things simple. I don't want too much overage. I want our guys playing fast. It's got to be somewhat basic. So we're still going to stick at 10 to 14 yards speed through your stick. Now, our aiming point is the inside shoulder of your near safety. And so that if that's open field, it's going to be the guy that's lined up over top of you. If it's closed field, you got to work to the closed field safety or the cover 1 safety or cover 3 safety, and you got to try to work to his inside shoulder. We have a cliff for safety depth of 10 yards in most instances. Now that does change a little game plan or game to game, and it is a little bit game plan dependent. But if a guy is at 10 yards, we're counting him at safety depth. If he's under 10 yards, now you've got to run it on the guy beyond him. So if we have something of a spin safety, a post snap or late pre-snap spin of a safety from 12 down to 8 or 7, we should be running it off of the next safety inside. Quarterback will throw you open, fight pressure with pressure. The read post. This is still a best release. This is almost exclusively ran by a slot, but we do run this every once in a while with an outside receiver, especially from some condensed splits. Again, keep it consistent, stick at 10 to 14 yards. We are going to speed through our stick. Here's the key to the read post. If it's a split field or an open field, whatever, if it's an open field or too high, you want to split it, and you want to split it with speed. Versus an open field or a too high look, win against the near safety, right? You have all the time in the world. We're occupying the field safety with something else, some type of vertical, some corner, some deep out, whatever it is. Don't worry about the opposite safety. Win against the safety over top of you when it's too high against a read post, right? And then you're going to split them. Don't worry about getting too close to him. Don't try to capture him. Just win and get down the crease. Against closed field or one high, our aiming point is to sit on the toes of the safety's original alignment. Now we stay on the move, but picture where that free safety, that cover 1 or cover 3 safety's toes are, and drive vertical. And as he bails, replace his original toe alignment. And this has been a really good visual for our guys. We started using this in the last year, and they've really taken to it in a nice job and done a nice job. And then, as with all of our posts, the quarterback's going to throw you open. We put that on the quarterback. I make sure I remind him all the time. This is on you to throw the quarterback open. I feel very strongly that if you would continually remind quarterbacks that it's their job to put the ball in a place that's easily caught for the receiver, and it sounds really mundane. It sounds like, well, duh, they should be doing that all the time. They are better quarterbacks, because there's too many times that, especially in practice, where you just catch a kid going into auto drive and he's putting it there, and yeah, it's back here, it's down here. But no, you got to throw him open. You got to lead him. You got to see the safety leverage. You got to see the leverage of the defender and make sure that you're throwing with a purpose, not on autopilot. And then the glance. And this is actually, the glance route has been probably one of the most successful routes I've ever coached. It's one of the staples in our passing game all the way since I was at Carroll in 2012 or whenever I first started there. I love the glance. I think of it as a post, and for me, it's a very simple concept. It's the best release. It's usually an outside receiver, but we do run it with the slots. It's a 7-step sloppy post. That's all the description I give them. I tell them to roll the cut. And then the idea is that we are going to attack the hook curl zone as fast as possible. And it's one of those things that I don't overcoach the technique as much as just show them where the zones open up on film. And I used to be really technical with this route. And what I found is that guys just sort of naturally find this zone if you let them be football players. And there are guys that just can't get taught, and then they just don't get to run this route.